Computer Science from Marthoma College, Nilambur. That's all about me. So let me start my seminar, IoE in Smart Power System. So we all know that energy is an essential part in our daily activities. Even in performing life processes, energy is very important. Hence, from the historical period onwards, basic human requirement included the equal distribution of energy uh, in every part of the world and the availability of energy from also from generation to generation. So in this technological era, we have witnessed rapid growth in network transportations and technologies, etc. So even if we take an example of electricity, distribution of electricity, it is actually transported to many households from a single central power station. So a massive amount of electricity is actually being produced in a central power station and it is transported from the power station to the household. However, if there is any network problems or network has been failed, it is difficult to deal with the situation, with such a situation. So here, the technology is slowly developing, not absolutely not completely developed, but it is slowly developing, and the manpower is highly required. To overcome this crisis or to overcome this kind of situations, the idea of IoE is introduced. Actually, after artificial intelligence, AI, the pressing topic, it is this is a major subject of research is IoT, like Internet of Things. So instead of things here, when we are focusing on energy, it is called IoE, Internet of Energy. So actually, it is a branch slowly arising under IoT. So in future, we can say that which may come in effect in future. So this is what my topic actually means. What is IoE in smart power system? So before jumping into the main topic IoE, we have to actually need to know some brief knowledge about what is IoT, Internet of Things. So this is my content, IoT, how does IoT work? IoE, understanding of IoE, at present, how IoE is at present, and electric grid, smart grid, and how IoE will be in future with the help of smart grid, and some elements of smart grid, flexible production, strong power grid, demand response, and prosumer. So let's look what is Internet of Things, IoE. Actually, IoE is Internet of Things. Like until now, we know that the access to internet is was limited through the communication devices like desktop, laptop, smartphone, tablets, etc. But now, when we are introducing IoT, with the help of IoT, practically all the devices or all the appliances can be like connected to the network. We can say that IoT is actually shaping the way we live our life. Like it is helping us to get inside the devices, and we know how the devices are working around us. So what is actually IoT is? It is, as I said before, it is Internet of Things. It is the network of things. Like all the things are connected to the network or the internet, and the data and informations are shared in between the devices. So if you take an example like a smart home, like in a smart home, in a house, if we have like devices like many kind of devices like AC in the refrigerator, TV, everything. So every network, every devices or appliances in a house is connected to each other and share the data and data and informations within it. So we can operate or we can monitor those devices overall with the help of a mobile application. So it is actually now we are using now the user get a detailed analyze about the device and how the devices are working. So the things in Internet of Things is actually not concentrating not only in the automobiles. but it also concentrate, like it is everything, like things can be everything, like a human being or if animals like automobiles or natural or man-made object. So like we said, if we take an example, if we take a smartwatch, if we are wearing a smartwatch in our hand, like generally the smartwatch can actually analyze or dictate anything happening to our body, like we can check the temperature with the help of smartwatch, or we can like dictate how our heart is beating per minute or beating per second, and how much we walk, how much we run. Everything can be analyzed or dictated with the help of a smartwatch. So, and if you're taking that example of animal, like I said before, now in future we'll be seeing every houses are will be like more smarter than now, and every farming system will be so smarter. So we'll be developing so much of smart farms in future. So to have smart farm, every animal should be like healthy, or there will be no handicapped or any diseases for that animal. So to dictate that whether this animal can produce, or whether this animal have a high breeding breeding capacity, or anything, any like if this animal is having healthy or not. So everything can be dictated with the help of IoT in future. So it is also helping like not only in a household but also in the variety of industries also. Nowadays we can see industries using IoT has been rapidly increased. If you take an example, if we take an example like Alexa, which is developed by Amazon. If we have an Alexa in our home, like we can easily communicate with Alexa, like we can command or order Alexa whether we to switch on the TV in the hall, or we can just say that to Alexa, like to switch off the TV in that hall. So Alexa is actually connecting us with the devices with the help of the network. So this help actually the industry not only to increase their value of business, but also it makes our life much easier, and it also increase the customer service more, like more advanced level. So this is what basically IoT means. IoT is. Now the basic examples of IoT is, like I said, smart home, wearable health monitors, which include the smart watches, etc., and smart farming. So next slide is saying how does IoT work? Actually, basically what IoT is doing is like sharing and collecting data, sharing or uh, sending or receiving data. So for sending and receiving data, that IoT should be having some smart devices, like an embedded smart devices like sensors, processors, communication devices to collect or to send on to act on the data that is acquired from that environment. So like as I said before, Alexa, if you take an example like Alexa, if we command to Alexa, Alexa is like sensing our command, and it is responding us by operating the system, which devices or which appliances we want to operate. So it is operating the devices, uh, and it is operating the devices, and it also sensing our command. With the help of sensing our command, it is operating the devices. And if you take another example like WhatsApp, if you are texting to someone in WhatsApp, that message is that all network is connected together. So internet. So all the WhatsApp are connected together with the network called internet. So if you are texting someone, the message is actually going to the cloud. Then from cloud, then the receiver is receiving that message. So the next point is saying that the IoT devices are like share the sensor data they collect by connecting to the IoT gateway, or it is called as network. So where the data is either sent to the cloud to analyze or analyze locally. Then these devices communicate with each other, related devices, act on the information they get from one another. This is how an IoT works in a basic way. So next we go to the main topic, what is IoE? IoE is Internet of Energy. It is a technological term where we are using IoT in an electrical infrastructure. Like we are using electricity in a smart way, like with reducing the cost, with reducing the wastage of electricity and reducing the cost too. So like understanding IOE, like um, for implementing IOE in electricity, we need actually some smart devices like smart sensors or like smart monitors to dictate or to monitor how to identify how much energy or how much electricity like each device is needed in a home or in a household to operate, or how much electricity is available to that house. So actually IOE, if we are implementing IOE, it is a we are making our future generation electricity more efficiently and more smarter way. So there will be no wastage of energy, as well as the cost will be also reducing. So that is what IOE is. It is actually we are saving the energy, at the same time we are saving the cost. So if you are look at this picture, we can see that there is, in this house there are a lot of appliances like TV, washing machine, refrigerator, everything, and a smart device like a Wi-Fi thing. It is a smart sensor, as I told before. There will be a smart devices connected to that device, all the appliances in that home. So in this device, there will be smart sensors and monitors which can dictate how much electricity or how much energy these all devices need to operate in this house. So it can also dictate how much electricity is available to this house. So this devices will dictate how much electricity is available to this house, and it will automatically operate when there is high amount of electricity available. So if there is high amount of electricity, at the same time the cost of electricity will be low. Like if there is low amount of electricity, the cost will automatically rise. Like I said, if we take an example, if we are operating a device when there is low amount of electricity is available at that home, then the rate of electricity will automatically come, it will automatically rise. Yeah, rise. If you are operating that device when there is plenty of energy available to that home, then the cost will automatically reduce. So IOE is actually reducing the cost of electricity, as well as it is reducing the wastage of electricity. Now let's look how IOE, how we are getting electricity at present. We know that now present we are getting electricity from a centralized power station. Uh, we have a central power station, and we have getting that electricity to our household with the help of a transformer. So it is a linear kind of method is happening now. There is a one-way communication happening now. In this picture, we can see that there is a power station, and the production happening in the power station. The electricity is produced in the power station, and the electricity is transported to the consumer or the receiver with the help of a transformer. There is only a one-way communication happening in this process. So if there is any failure happen in between that, then there will be no power supply. So this is called an electric grid. Actually, if one grid failed to transport electricity, there will be basically there will be no electricity available to us at that point if there is any failure happens. Um, so there will be some failures like brownout, blackout, and load shedding. It is actually if there is plenty of energy available, if there is not insufficient amount of energy available in the power station, and um, there will be no much energy coming to us, like there will be no much energy received by us. So we can't operate any devices or appliances with the help of that energy. This is called brownout. There will be no sufficient amount of energy in the power station, so we will be not getting sufficient amount of energy to operate a device. So like as I said before, this is a power, this is a electric grid by one-way communication. And if there is any failure or crashing happen in between the grid, then the entire area will be affected. There will be no electricity happening to that area. This kind of crashing is called blackout. There will be no current where the failure or crashing has happened. Like the next is load shedding. Like if there is an area where there is high energy is using, there is an area where electricity usage is very high, and there is area where electricity usage is very low, and electricity supply is also very low. So what central power station do is they will be reduce, they will be cutting or shutting down the electricity supply to that where the electricity usage is high for some time. Like we'll be having load shedding like from 6:30 to 7:30 in night. We'll be having like that, right? So that time it is said that the area will be having high usage of electricity. So the power station will cut that connection for some moment and then supply that electricity to the other area. This is the failure called load shedding. So to overcome this kind of situation or this kind of crisis like electricity problems, we are using smart grid in electric grid. That is smart grid. The next topic is smart grid. This is actually an advanced or an upgraded version of electric grid. Like we can say, we are using electricity smarter. Uh, so as I said before, we are using electricity smarter with the help of some smart devices. As I said before, there will be some smart devices in home like monitors and meters that can sense or dictate how much electricity each devices or each appliance is needed to operate in a house. So with the help of that devices, the electricity will not be will not be wasted, as well as the cost is also reduced. So with the help of these components, the electric grid will be made smarter. So the advanced or the upgraded version of electric grid is called a smart grid. So the advantage of smart grid is balancing and supplying the demands, stability and safety, and effective use of renewables. Like now we are using fossil fuels as an energy now, which are causing pollutions to the earth. So in future, we will be using more renewable resources. Like we are producing energy or we are generating electricity or energy from which all sources or which all sources we can produce electricity. So we are not only concentrating on one thing, we are concentrating on everything. So it is actually a two-way dialogue or two-way communication happening. So next slide is developing a network by adding a smart grid. So in this picture, we can see that the power station is generating electricity and transporting to the household with the help of a transformer. And in this household, what happening in this household is, as I said before, there is a Wi-Fi thing that can be called as a smart device, which have a smart sensor or monitor, which can dictate how much electricity or energy is needed for that household. So this will detect how much electricity is needed to that household, and only that electricity is used. If there is any excess amount of electricity available or electricity is seen or detected, that electricity will be transported backward. There is, we can see there is two line. Like one line is coming the electricity from the producer, and the other line is going from the consumer to the producer. So that excess amount of electricity can be used to the area where there is less amount of electricity available. So this is how a smart grid can be implemented in electricity transportation in an electric grid. What is happening in now? So we can go to the next slide. How power flow without a smart grid. This is actually how a power flow with the help of a electric grid. In this first picture, we can see that power flowing smoothly with the help of electric grid. So there is a power station and there is some transformers and some households connected to transformers. Those are power supplied with the help of power line switches and transformers. So everywhere there is electricity is available with the help of transformer. So if one grid fail, like grid is actually the connection of things like the line from the power station or from the transformer to the household or from the power station to the transformer. That is called grid. So if one grid fail due to some environmental changes, if some heavy rain or heavy thunder, if anything comes, when one grid fail, there will be no electricity available to that area. So there is no electricity available to that area. To overcome this kind of situation, we are using smart grid. So this is the picture previously. If there is some problems coming of area happen, that area won't be getting electricity. But when we are using smart grid in electric grid, there will be, it will automatically reroute and restore the electricity to that area. If one grid fail, it's actually saying if one grid fail, the other grid help or overtake that grid and restore or reroute the electricity to that area. So everywhere there will be electricity. There will be no area where the electricity is no, there will be no area where there is no electricity supply. in future. So let's look what is happening in future. Now I said before there will be at present till now we are using like a smart power not a smart power generate not smart power no, sorry, central power station to generate electricity or energy, and we are getting electricity or energy from power station to the household with the help of transformer. But in future we can see that there will be lot of resources available, or lot of sources available to produce electricity. So we will be not only concentrating on a central power plant, but we will be getting electricity from, or we are generating electricity from which all resources or which all sources can produce electricity. So that is happen, that will be going to happen in future. Like in this three graph we can see in until now the fossil fuel is used, highly used to produce electricity or energy. So in coming generation, or from now, we will be using renewable resources. In this picture we will be using renewable resources to produce electricity more than fossil fuel. So it will be more greener, as well as there will be less kind of pollutions causing to the earth. So if we are using more renewable resources to produce electricity in future, we can see that there will be less, or will be no electricity or energy produced from fossil fuel which can cause harmful to the earth. We'll be using full renewable resources to make electricity or energy, and it will be like an intelligent or a greener way of producing electricity in future. So this is how energy is produced or energy is generated, and it is connected. How smart grid can be connected to in future generations production of electricity. So in this picture we can see not only the central power station is producing electricity or energy, but the thermal like the wind energy, solar energy, and biogas energy is also producing energies. So these energies all are interconnected or connected each other and forming a grid. So if one power or power if one electricity power supply fail, the other will help to like retake the route and restore the route and retake the route of the power supply. So there will be electricity, or we can produce electricity everywhere, every time, and anywhere. So this is how it works. Like smart grid work when in future, how we can restore or reroute the power supply with the help of a smart grid, with the help of a renewable resources, and with the help of smart grid. So in this picture we can see there is a power station, and electricity is produced from the power station, and it is coming to the consumer with the help of a smart grid. And there is a wind energy producing, turbine producing wind energy is also connected to this transformer, and the energy is from power station and wind also coming to the smart grid, and we are receiving both the energies. And we can say that in this house there is a solar energy panel which is producing solar energy. So, and there is a smart devices, as I said before, which can dictate the how much electricity is needed to operate that household things. So this device can understand how much electricity is needed to operate this, and if there is excess amount of electricity dictated in this household, it will like transport it back to the power station, or it will use where there is less amount of electricity available area. So, and if this main power grid fail, if the power generating from central power station to the smart transformer fail, we will get electricity from the thermal turbine or from the solar energy. So this is actually saying making the electric grids more smarter with the help of a smart grid. So we will be getting electricity not only from the central power plant, but also from other resources. Which all sources can produce electricity, we are producing it. So we are not only concentrating on a central thing, but we are decentralizing the things, or we are decentralizing the resources or sources available in this environment or in this world. So, as I said before, we are producing this energy as the help of thermal or the help of solar. We will be the producer, as well as we will be the consumer in future. So we are producing electricity as well as we are consuming the electricity. So it is called, hence it is called prosumers. So we will be the prosumers of future. In when we are becoming a prosumer in a house, we can see that we are producing electricity with the help of solar or with the help of wind, or there is we are getting electricity from the central power plant also. But if there is excess energy is dictated, or excess electricity is dictated in that house, actually that electricity is wasting. But we are not, if we are becoming prosumer, we are not wasting that electricity. We are consuming that electricity and transferring in it electricity into heat and storing it in a heat pump. So we can use it, or we can reuse it for further or in future where there is less energy is available. So actually, when we are becoming prosumer, we are saving the electricity as well as we are saving the cost of the electricity too. If you are taking example in a like a, as I said before, if there is a solar energy or a wind solar energy produced in a house, that smart device can dictate how much energy is needed to operate each and every devices in a house. So if there is excess amount of electricity or energy available, it will automatically convert or automatically dictate there is excess amount of electricity. So it will automatically convert it into the heat energy, and it will save it for the future use. So we will become a prosumer in future. Like we will be the consumer as well as we will be the producer of the electricity. So to make the smart grid more smarter, make smart grid more smarter in future, there is some elements needed to add into smart grid like flexible production, strong power grid, and demand response. Let's go to flexible production. When we are looking into this picture, we can see there is solar energy, biogas, cell projects, wind energy, CHP, power station, etc. So we are producing energies from everywhere, not only from a central power station, but from everywhere. So, and the energies are interconnected. And flexible production, what flexible production is means is we are giving equal importance to every energy. We are not giving a partiality, or we are giving or more importance to, or not only to one, not only concentrating on one energy, but we are concentrating or giving importance to each and every energy that is available to us. So that is called energy democratization. We are giving equal democracy, like equal importance to each and every energy available in this earth. And this all energy is like interconnected to each other. So if one failed to produce, or one failed to transport the electricity or energy, the other can replace it, or other can share the electricity. So there will be no like electricity shortage or energy shortage in future. And aggression of small producers, as I said before, we are producing electricity and we are consuming electricity. As we can take an example, as I said before, like solar panel. If we have a small solar panel in our home, we are like consuming small amount of electricity and we are producing small amount of electricity. So it will develop, or it will introduce this flexible production introduce some small prosumers in future. It will also implement a virtual power plants in every household. And network management is like, as every network, every energy resources, or every energy sources are interconnected to each other. So there will be a network is forming. So if one network failed to transport or like produce energy, the other network will save or share the energy with the failure network. So there will be no area where there is electricity or energy is not available. And digitalized power generation means, as I said before, in every household or every house, there will be a smart sensors or smart meters that can dictate how much electricity is needed to produce or generate, uh, like available or to generate each, no, available or to monitor each devices. So it will be fully automatic in future. Like we can we can see how much electricity is available to our home, or if there is any excess energy available. So we can be fully digitalized or fully automatized. Then energy storage and analyze. These two points are having the same meaning. Like we are saving the energy as well as we are saving the cost of the energy, and we are getting a detailed analysis about how much electricity we use, or how much electricity is wasted in future or in our home. Like it will, this flexible production method will help to reduce the fossil fuel use of fossil fuel, or the energy production from fossil fuel, and it will make the earth more greener, and we will be using more, not only not fossil fuel, we'll be getting making energy more from renewable resources. So next is strong power grid. Second one is strong power grid. Strong power grid means it is here we are transporting a large or plenty amount of energy from one to other. Like in between, we can say strong power grid applicable in between the countries, in between the countries or in the countries, like from far areas. So in this picture, we can see the strong power grid. With the help of strong power grid, the electricity or the energy is transported from vast area. Like we can transport electricity, large amount of electricity from one point to the other point, where it's far. Actually, one point to the other point, that point is very far away. And if you take an example like country like Denmark. Denmark is a country where there is produced excess amount of energy from thermal, like wind energy. There is lot of turbines in produce. Denmark is actually a windy country. There will be wind blowing every time or every minute in that country. So it is easy to produce energy from the resource called wind there. So energy is produced from wind is used actually as a main electricity production there. So if there is any country near to Denmark where there is less amount of electricity is produced, so we can transport this excess amount of electricity to that area where there is less amount of electricity is used. So it is actually sharing of electricity energy from one country to other or within the country, and it will also like help to like and help to improve or help to increase an international market for energy in future. Like it can be applicable in future with the help of strong power grid. Like it can produce energy. If there is high amount of energy available, the cost of energy will be also low. If there is less amount of energy available, the cost of electricity will automatically rise. If also between the country the cost of electricity will be also coming less, and within the country the cost is also coming less, and the relationship between the countries will also increase in future. This is what strong power grid means. Now let's go to the demand response. Mm, demand response actually means in future energy will not be only produced when it is required, but it should be used when it is plentiful. Like I said before, the all the resources or all the sources that can produce energy or electricity is interconnected with the help of smart grid. So if energy is produced plentiful, so if to one house, if there is um, if need to operate a device which required actually high amount of electricity, and if there is that smart devices, with the help of smart devices we can dictate when there is a high amount of electricity available to that household. So at that time that devices will automatically operate or automatically charge. Like if we take an example, we can say that like smart cars. In future we can see that smart vehicle like electric vehicles will be replacing nowadays vehicle, like vehicles with running with the help of fossil fuels. Like so in future we can see there will be a massive amount of electric vehicles in market. So to charge the electric vehicle we need high amount of electricity. So the smart devices in a house can dictate when there is high amount of electricity available or when there is availability of electricity is high. So at that time it will automatically charge the car without any human power. It will automatically connect to the car and it will automatically charge it. So there will be no large cheap batteries that can store electricity in later use. So in future, not in future, we can say till from now it is not like fully developed. There will be some research going on in like large cheap batteries in future, but now there is no large cheap batteries to store electricity for later use. So if we take example, like I said before, there is if there is excess amount of electricity is seen detected in our home, we can like transfer or transform that electricity into heat energy, and we can store it in CHP or central heat pumps in a home. So we can use that electricity or that energy for the further use or a future use when there is less amount of electricity dictated, and IOE in residential consumption management. And this whole method is doing with the help of IOE, Internet of Energy. Like all energy is interconnected to each other, and like it is saving energy at the same time it is saving the cost. So it will be in future it will be like it will be implemented in each and every household in future. And electric IOE in plug-in electricity vehicle integration. So I said now in future there will be a replacement of fossil fuel vehicles to electric vehicles. There will be lot electric vehicles in market than the fossil fuel vehicle running with the help of fossil fuel. This is smart response. So, so this is my seminar, and we are concluding it. Now it is like IOE is a pathway to increase or to um, use the electricity with an efficient or a intelligent way or smarter way in future, and better observation or controllability of all devices or components will be like operated automatically, and it will also help the economy of a country to improve in their financial or economical background too. And the capital of that cost capital of an that a country is depending on electricity, or how much we are spending on electricity, will be also reduced in future with the help of IOE. So this is my topic seminar, IOE in smart power system. Sir.